guys, this is Graveyard Dirt, and today we are going to be talking about stuff. And I'm Lady Grave Dancer, in case I forgot to say that, and I am here with...
Wednesday. How you guys doing? I'm sorry the show is so late today, but I had to go and eat seafood, and it was delicious.
Yeah, so she's sorry we're late because she had crabs.
Yes, and I had shrimps, and I had crawfish, and I had oysters.
And I got to hear about how...
I regret nothing.
I had to hear her whole drive home how full she is.
Yes, having a hard time breathing here, guys.
Yes. So you have a few things already written down, and I have a few things in my head that we can just chat about. So we're going to chat.
Absolutely. So where did you want to start out today? Because I know we talked about so much stuff and so many topics that we want to bring up, and I'm kind of feeling overwhelmed. So where do you want to start off? Pull up my list.
Yeah, pull up your list. Let's see what you got. Did we talk about herbs in the last video? I'm starting to get my videos confused because I'm doing the Witch's View, and then my regular channels, and my herbs, mystical herbs, and then my everything. I'm getting confused of where I'm putting what and what I'm talking about.
We didn't talk about herbs. We did. Nope, I don't think we did.
So what are your vibes on herbs? Like they're not medical properties.
I think rosemary is a bisexual plant. I'll put that out there.
Can you tell how we were talking earlier? Yeah, it's definitely a bisexual plant, but
yes, and it can be used as a substitution for whatever. Be mad.
I would hit you with the selenite wand if you were here.
I'm just saying, let them be mad.
What is but like your magically, not medically, but magically your thoughts on herbs? Because there are a lot of people who think that whatever the herbs properties are is what it is, and I'm not one who thinks that way. I feel the energy myself, and I go by what I feel when it comes to magical properties of any kind of plants. And let me make sure to make that clear. Not medically, magically.
Right, magical, yeah. My relationships with herb is kind of iffy. I wouldn't necessarily say an abundance of them. I have quite a few. And quite a few of them are very old. I've had them for a while. When it comes down to using herbs in my practice, I have a couple of reference books that I will just glance over. But I feel like just because it says that in the book, that it isn't necessarily the gospel. And you can get a different vibe from different plants. How this plant vibes with you may not be the same way that it vibes with me. You may get a whole different type of energy from it. So I think it's pretty much, you have to go with your intuition.
Yeah, I think it's what I feel. And that's what it's always been with my practice anyway, is how I feel about it is how I use it.
Right. And herbs carry so many, they have multiple uses. Like when I made my video doing the witch ball, and everything that I put in was separated up into 9 different batches. A lot of the batches had, they share a common herb because, they have different multiple properties.
Yeah, and I do think that the level of growth the herb has, it feels different to me. Because whenever rosemary gets to the point where they're blooming those beautiful flowers, it feels different to me than prior to it. Being blooming the pretty flowers. So I think that, and that's for any plant, like my rose bushes, when they're not blooming roses, it doesn't mean I can't use them because they still have the stems, they still have the thorns, they still have the leaves, they still have all that, they still have the roots, and all of those feel different.
Right, and I also feel that the uses for different herbs can vary depending on their source. So where you get them from or where they were harvested from,
Oh, there you go.
Could all play into what it can be used for. Because you can use roses for a love spell, but what color roses are you going to use? Or it doesn't necessarily have to be used in a love spell. If you pick these roses out of a graveyard next to a body that's buried that just so happened this body that's buried was a freaking serial killer, and you pick these roses off a bush next to a serial killer's grave.
Yeah.
Are you going to use that for a love spell?
No, not
Exactly.
me. But I'm not saying that they can't. But I'm just saying I wouldn't. And
Right.
and inside plants feel different to me than the ones I have planted in the ground. My potted plants that are indoors, because I have rosemary, mint, and basil in the house as well as outside the house in the ground, and they feel different to me. The ones inside I pretty much only use for cooking with, because that's the vibe I get off of them. But yet I'll go outside and I may have bought the plant the same day, but planted them in two different spots, and I get a totally different feel for them.
Right. And it could depend on what strand of the herb it is. All rosemary isn't the same rosemary, you know?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. But
so
rosemary is a bisexual plant. I'm going to put that out there again. Be mad. You substitute it for whatever the fuck you want to substitute it for. I'm going to leave that there. Moving on.
Yeah. This is not an edited video. The Graveyard Dirt Talks are not edited videos.
And another thing, just kind of want to put it out there, for those of you who think that we are using this as a platform to just talk shit about people or just be mean girls, it isn't the case. Our personalities, first of all, are very strong. And I, for one, in person, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say whenever I want to say it. I can speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for both of us when I say we're not on here with the intentions on being mean or bashing anybody. We just give our opinions on things, and you can take it or leave it. It doesn't necessarily mean that what we're saying is 100% accurate or you know. Exactly. Our whole purpose for this is just to teach everybody and have everybody embrace magic as your own. Yes. That's it. We're not bashing book witches. We're not bashing anybody unless you say something completely fucking stupid, and then we're going to bash you in the head repeatedly.
We just got, I believe it was 3 in the last one where people left their opinion and then unsubscribed, which is fine. I mean, you do what you want to do. But yeah, we're not trying to bash people, and this is the way we talk to each other, and that's how we explained this channel was going to be, is how her and I talk. When we're doing a video just talking to a camera, of course it's very different because there's no one else there to chop the shit with. So it does seem to be different than the normal videos that are posted, but this is how we talk. This is how I talk. If you look at my vlogs, I talk like this all the time.
Right.
You know?
So, that being said, I'm going to read you guys a comment, okay? Let me set the tone before I read this comment. We are not by any stretch of the imagination mean girls, okay? And we don't take too kindly to know-it-alls or, what am I trying to say? Know-it-alls, pushy people, and those who come into the comments. And
I'm all about you sharing your opinion and your experiences on what you do with, you know, let's say selenite. You come in and you sharing what you do with it, and it's totally different from what I do with it, and you're just sharing it. That's great because you're sharing knowledge. It might connect with someone else. It's different when you come in and you are basically bashing other people's opinions and telling them they're wrong. I'm right because I'm God Almighty, so I'm right and you're wrong. That's when I have a problem.
You don't tell anybody you can't do something. You can't do it this way. That's not right. You don't tell anybody that.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, people do whatever the hell they want to do. Okay? And, okay. So, do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
I don't have anything pulled up, so yeah. I got the 2 things pulled up during this video, so I can't pull up nothing else.
Okay.
Which is gone. I can't read it anyway.
Oh, yeah. Those who throw stones and run. We're going to talk about that, too. Hold on. Do I still have it?
Girl, hold on, while you're pulling it up, though, did I tell you about my experience at Cheddar's?
No, you posted a screen thingy of it on.
I took a picture of the old bat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw. We have a Cheddar's here. Hey, we have a restaurant that finally I know that you have to.
The chicken, fried chicken, is out of this world. It's amazing.
Yeah, I went in the other day and asked some bitches for a to-go menu because I didn't want to say it. She said, "Oh, we don't have a to-go menu." Well, but you won't be getting my coins then. What do you mean you don't have a to-go menu? I don't want to stay here and eat. I want to take it with me.
That's weird. Maybe they have it online.
She's like, well, I can give you this menu, but you can't take it with you. So, ma'am, lady ma'am, how does that help my need to take this menu out of this establishment, go sit in my car, read it, figure out what I want, and then call my order in because I'm not coming back in here until I'm ready to pick my food up. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go eat Firehouse subs instead. Thank you very much. You just missed out on a good $5.16 for tax. Now, how do you feel about yourself? You should feel really shitty. You should feel bad.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Heifer.
Did you know that I didn't know what heifer meant until about 7 years ago?
You know what? It depends. Is it heifer or heifer?
Heifer. I got called heifer. Yeah, I had to call because the lady was mad at me at the office, and she, on the way out, she wanted to know if someone lived there, you know, because I'm a property manager, and I'm like, I can't tell you if they live here or not because it's against the rules. I don't know if you're
shoot them, you fucking lunatic.
Exactly. You should know they live here or not, you know. And she was so mad at me. She walked out the door and she's like, "You a stupid little heifer," and walked down. I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then I stopped for a minute. I'm like, what does that mean? What is she calling me?
What that bitch just said to me?
Wait a minute. So I had to call Nicole, and I'm like, what does that mean? Oh, man. Yeah.
Okay, what happened while you were at Cheddar's while I piece these things together?
We had an awesome waiter. He was really awesome. Only word I have for him was fabulous because he was just pretty and just friendly and just really great. And those two ladies walked in. Well, one lady came first, and then the redhead came in like after. She was late for their date apparently. And she ordered warm water, and he brought her room temperature water.
How dare he?
And he and I was talking to Junior, and so then I heard her say it's because he's Asian. I'm like, I was like, and you see how close the picture is. She was 2 feet from me. And I looked at Junior, I said, what did she just say? And I wasn't whispering. And I'm like, what did she say? And I was like, you're a racist ass. I said, she's lucky she didn't say something about Mexico and me sitting at the table with a bunch of Hispanics because, man, it would have been really over. You know, I got my 3 boys here at the table with me. No. And then I'm like, and then you know, so they start getting upset. I'm like, I'm going to take a picture of her and I'm going to put her on Facebook.
So did she respond to you when you called her racist?
She didn't respond to me. She responded she told the lady in front of her, I think they're talking about me.
And so that's what I would have spoke up and say, yes, heifer, you.
No, I didn't say yes, I was. I said, I know you hear me. But she never looked back up at me. And Junior was just, him and his boyfriend they just thought it was hilarious. And my husband was just like, okay, we need to leave.
Yeah, you can see in the picture, he was just like, not today. Nobody move.
I'm sorry, I can't stand for that. I can't be quiet. And I had some people say, let karma, you know, but sometimes I feel like I am people's karma.
Oh, piss on that. I ain't got time. I'm gonna get your ass right now.
No, it was too much. You don't do that. He was amazing. And God damn it, you want warm water? Who orders warm water?
Well, I use hot water for, when I go to restaurants, if they don't have plasticware, just to dip my silverware in, because I'm bougie like that.
Well, I don't know if she was doing that.
Warm water is not going to kill germs, and I don't even think warm water is going to steep teeth. So who knows? Oh, battle axe. Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to see it because we were already waiting for our check at that point, so I wasn't there much after that.
Oh, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have a comment pulled up here. And how did this start? How did we end up going back and forth with her?
One of the comments that was left, I wasn't sure how to take it because I told you I was having a day. And I was like, can you read this and let me know if I'm just feeling it wrong. I don't want to, because sometimes I get hot-headed and I have to make myself calm down before I, react wrong. I know how I am, and I do that. And I asked you to read it and tell me if I'm, just wrong and I'm just in a mood or something, and I'll just wait to respond till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And you read it, and you were like, no. And then when I answered her and told her that, I appreciate her not being judgmental. I got to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly what I said, but that she was being judgmental.
Oh, I can tell you what you said.
Yeah, and I thought she was being rude and judgmental, and that she's going to force me to block her because she wasn't just... It's not like she was commenting to me. She was commenting to people who were commenting on the video, making people feel uncomfortable about leaving comments. And I like people to leave comments because I feel like it's like almost like a meeting place where we're sharing in the comments our own experiences. And I kept getting a ding, ding, ding because she was leaving comments on everybody's comments, telling them how wrong they were. And I'm like, you don't do that. Don't tell them they're wrong. It's their practice, not yours. Come on.
Okay, so I'm not sure that she blocked you, because now that I'm reading the new comment that she sent, it says, not sure where my comment went, but from over...
Yeah, because I got it in my email today.
Yeah, but her comment,
but it won't let
she
me
know damn well where her comment went. Don't try to be cool.
But she wouldn't let me reply. It's in my email.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Where? Let me see. Shit. Well, basically, she said something. One of our viewers left a comment. She and I were having a discussion about using blood magic. And I was basically praising the person who commented and telling her that it was a great idea, what she was choosing to use it for. And I won't go into the specifics because I don't want to bring that person into it.
Yeah.
But basically, the response to her was, let me go back to it. Come on, stupid iPhone. No, it's not gonna pull up.
What she had said to her was, for her, absolutely do not use her blood to do magics because, like, bad things can happen to her or something.
Here's what she said.
Okay.
She said, here it is. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Your altar should be dedicated only to your good helping dead. We have ancestors who are not good, and giving the dead your blood is a bad idea in general and can suck your life force. Using it to connect to them is a different idea. Raven Grimassi has an idea to connect with them in his book Cauldron of Memory using a stone, since you likely do not have their bone. Two problems that I have with this comment. You don't to say that giving blood to the dead is a bad idea in general.
And she was talking specifically to her ancestors.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
but she's saying just in general, you shouldn't give that's a bad idea to give your blood to the dead. But says who, though? And this is what Tequila and I crusade about, is making your practice your own. Who's to say that you shouldn't give your blood to the dead? So you guys know me and my smart ass mouth. I've commented back, and basically I was like, well, who are you to tell somebody how to practice? Their altar should be dedicated to whomever they choose and whomever they see fit. If they want to give their blood to the dead, be they good or bad, that's completely up to them. I give my blood to the dead all the time of whomever I choose. And I still got all my life force. So what are you talking about?
And I would have been okay with her comment if she would have said, my opinion is that I wouldn't personally do that because I feel that it'll drain my life force. That's okay because that's you sharing what you do. But she told this person, do not.
Do not. It's
and
a
this
bad
person
idea,
responded, and you could tell that it made her uncomfortable in her response. And I don't want people to feel uncomfortable when they're commenting on my channel.
Right. Like, don't do. We have no problem with you guys interacting in the comments, but don't get in there and tell somebody that what they're doing is a bad idea. That's not, to you, it's a bad idea. And if you want to say that it's a bad idea, you can say that, but make sure that you specify that it's your, this is, in my opinion. Don't say, no, don't do that. That's just not cool. Mm-hmm. So when Tequila went back and basically, because I don't want you guys to think that it's petty and it's just this one little comment.
She commented on so many people's comments. I mean, she just was all over the place.
On several videos.
On several videos, it was like clink, clink, clink. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Right. And then Tequila went, and I believe that Tequila was very nice. And when she asked her, listen, don't do what you're doing. I just want to ask you to conduct yourself a certain way on my videos, or I'm going to be forced to block you. What looks like happened is she beat Tequila to the punch and blocked her. She said what she had to say, and then she blocked Tequila, which I feel like is total bullshit.
I think she's popping it off and on, though, because how is she still commenting and then we can't reply?
Yes, and now...
It's like you're popping it off and on.
Right. So it looks like she blocked Tequila. It looks like, because when we go back and try to respond to her, because she says, well, I don't feel like that. She said something about she didn't feel like Tequila was being rude.
And she wanted me to let people to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Well, no, because people are coming to my channel to comment and interact. It's like I tell them that it's completely fine and that we love it and we're sharing. But yet then you have someone coming on here making them feel uncomfortable. So, yes, I am going to come to their defense. But
right.
She wanted me not to.
She says that what does she says? I feel I have been polite enough. I do not call names, etc., and give factual explanations, not a simple "you are wrong." So my question to her was, well, where are you getting your facts for your explanation?
Oh, because remember the comment she left me on my video? Yeah. I know the 2 books you read.
Right.
Because you're pretty much saying, you're pretty much typing exactly what you got out of that book.
Yes. And she says, and I asked her, I said, well, where are you getting your facts for your explanations? And again, at this point, I'm being very polite. I said, I even called her dear. That's how nice I was being. And she went from her she got the information from her godparents and her godbrothers. And I guess they practice voodoo and things like this. And then her response in another video was, and I'm also an initiated priestess. Here's a problem that I have with that. I was born in Haiti. A lot of you might not know that I was actually born in Haiti. My dad is Haitian. My mother is American. My dad is Haitian. I was actually born there. So there's a lot that I know. My grandmother is actually a priestess and has been since before I was born. And I'm almost pushing 30 years old, okay? Don't no priestess that's initiated speak the way that this person speaks. Ain't no Haitian priestess going to quote a book. They're not going to send you to read no book when it comes down to that particular practice. An actual initiated priestess is going to know that what you learn, and you could be initiated. I'm not taking that from you, but you absolutely could be initiated. But you would know that the information and the knowledge that you have is going to be specific to your spirit house. Everything is passed down to the generations for that house. What this house does, this house may not do. So don't say that it's your job to teach anything and to teach the masses when 9 times out of 10, you're quoting from a book. And that's how you talk. You talk like you're quoting from a book. And you're dropping authors and saying, well, such and such has it in their book, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. If it's your job to educate, don't educate me and say, well, this person had wrote about it in their book. No, tell me what you know. Don't tell me what this person knows that wrote the book. Tell me what you know, teacher. If not, shut the fuck up. And I'm done with that. Okay. Because I got so mad. Don't do that. Do not do that. Do not walk around telling people what the fuck they can and cannot do. That irritates the hell out of me.
Yes. And that's not anything that we try to share, telling people what to do at all. And it was very rude of her, and she was very judgmental toward my video and other comments that were being made where people were just sharing their practices. We're not saying that what we're doing is the gospel. This is what we do.
Right.
You know,
you take from it what you will and apply it where you choose. And if you don't want to use it, that's fine.
Exactly. It's only written, like you said, it's only written in my house. So it doesn't make it set in stone nowhere else.
Right.
So.
And I could make my, and I'm going to talk about Book of Shadows in a minute, but I can put something in my Book of Shadows and then pass it down to my daughter or my son or whoever comes after that if they so choose to, follow in the same path. And they can take my Book of Shadows and say, I'm not doing that shit. I'm going to do it my own way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the truth, so.
Your magic is what you make it. You don't tell nobody what the hell damn to do. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, I'm done with that conversation because I'm getting mad. Okay, I digress. Spicy. I don't like that.
Were those spicy crabs that you had today?
Yeah, huh?
Were those spicy crabs you had today?
No, but she needs dick. Like, she is so uptight. Go get laid and shut up. Making your little videos, reading off of your computer screen and a piece of paper. Piss off.
Okay, we're going to move on now.
Just some dick. You bend it over and bust it open for somebody and shut the hell up. Anyway, that was rude. I apologize.
We're going to have to put a rating on this video.
Just seriously. Like, what did you say? Like, she is so uptight. If she farts, it's going to hurt. It's going to blow her fucking heart out.
It's going to scare the hell out of her. She farts.
Oh, God, what was that? Shit.
See, now we sound like mean girls.
Yeah, and you know what? And I said it that night when everything happened. She has officially turned me into a mean girl. But what I was going to do was read her comment and actually say her name. But you know what? I'm not going to stoop to that level. But you almost had me, lady. You almost had me. I was about to.
Which several people know who it is because she commented on a lot of people's comments.
But, right. And if you want to do the research, you can go back and see. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But I'm not going to give her the satisfaction of saying her name to give her the traffic. So, anyway. Even if she got the traffic, you guys will come back anyway because it's boring as hell.
Oh, God.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That was mean. Whatever.
Okay.
Many people don't know that you can not only have a haunted house and a haunted person, but you can also have haunted objects. One more
God damn.
Please, can we move on before I get worse?
You're the one with the list. I'm just over here rolling. This is what you do to me when we're on the phone. Heaven forbid if they heard what we were talking about earlier with saggy balls and stuff. God, get to your list.
Listen, if you are around here sitting on your dick and balls, you need to get you some support underwear because what are you doing? What are you doing? Get you some Spanx.
I don't know
how Batman draws.
I don't know how our conversations end up all over the damn place. I swear.
Yeah, like why are your balls? Do your balls hang low?
Do they wobble to the floor?
Sag your ball, bitch.
Oh, if I wasn't going to hell, I'm going now. Okay.
That has to hurt though to just sit on your dick. Wait, not your dick, your balls. That has to hurt.
Oh my God.
And I'm sorry if I had balls and I wake up in the morning and you're kind of out of it and you're gonna sit out on the toilet and your balls fall in that cold water first thing in the morning. Listen, I would shit a brick, literally.
Oh my God. Right. Oh man. You can tell I'm around a lot of men. This is so funny.
You have to stop.
Oh my God. If you only knew my dad before he passed away, you would love my dad. Because he would tell you if his balls they hit that water that it turned into a turtle going back home because it was cold.
Yeah, they would jump up into my damn stomach.
Oh man, I miss my daddy. Yeah, he was funny.
I need a headband now. I done got hot. Okay.
So what else you got?
Hold on. More to magic than candle spells. Do you ever feel like your practice is specifically geared around, or that all you seem to do is candle spells?
Not my magic, no, but I do notice that a lot does come that way from a lot of people.
Because I felt like for a while, that's all I was doing, was some type of candle spell, some type of candle magic. And it got to the point where I literally had to slow down on the purchasing of candles, because that was all my magic. I'm not going to say my magic. I'm not going to say that's all it was, but
that
I kind of
phase,
had an epiphany.
Like that phase, you were doing more candle magic than any kind of magic.
Right. And I had to stop and slow down, like pretty much just stop. And I took everything down, because I'm good for just taking my altar space completely down, and I'll pack it away for weeks at a time, because I feel like I need to center myself and ground myself and figure out where my path is going at that particular time. Because I miss the days of honey jar spells, or witches balls, or witches bottles, and then sometimes you don't need any tools at all to do a spell. You can do a spell in your head.
Yeah, you can have a piece of paper and go bury it in the yard.
Right. You can chant. You can do meditations, incantations, and just chant. You don't necessarily have to light a candle or dress a candle to be doing a spell. It doesn't have to be all out. Nina, if you don't get out of my kitchen,
you leave that puppy dog alone. She wants some ice.
She do. Piece. But yeah, it doesn't have to be this elaborate, all special ritual.
Yeah. You
could just do it to yourself. You can wake up in the morning, and before you get out of your bed, you can cast a spell.
Yeah, you can.
Because I was talking to Tequila a few weeks ago, and I was telling her how my magic, it drains me to the point where, remember that day I ate, like, I did magic the day before, like I did a spell, and that next night I ate, and I bullshit you guys not, like 6 whole pieces of pork chop. And I'm not talking about that thin cut without the bone bullshit. I'm talking about
some pork chops.
Full-blown pork chops.
Exactly.
And I ate 6 of them in a day, in less than like 3 hours. And I drank like 2 liters of Coca-Cola.
It's because you were drained. It's because you were drained from your spell. Yeah, when I do like house cleansings and stuff like that, I always try to have something sugary after. It's usually a juice or a fruit of some sort that I'll have after, because even though you ground, it'll still drain you, and I think you were just completely drained from that.
Yeah, because baby, listen, my protein was through the roof that next day, and I knew it was, because I felt like crap on top. Well, of course, all that damn pork, and
I love me some pig.
The grease. Yeah, I eat the pig from the rooter to the tutor baby, all the way down to the toenails. I would eat me a pick a pig foot so fast. Yes. Now I want to pick a pig foot. Damn it. What I told you about bringing up food, because then I want it.
You started it.
It was so delicious. But yeah,
I got some carnitas in the kitchen right now.
You got some what?
Some carnitas. It's
Listen,
pig.
I got. Hold on. See, let me tell you. Because now we're gonna talk about food. We can talk about that. Hold on. I got. What is this stuff? Because it's delicious. I have pickled pork skins.
See, I don't like that. My husband and my oldest son, they love that, but I don't eat that. No.
They're so delicious. Just a little bit. I put them in a bag with some chips, like some salt and vinegar potato chips. I put some hot sauce. What are we talking about? Where's
wait, let's go back to candle magic.
Okay, sorry. I was gonna give y'all a recipe, honey. Listen, my mouth is watering. What was I talking about? Oh, because I was telling her that I will get so deep into just the prep of doing magic that by the time I'm done prepping and cleansing the candle and dressing the candle, I don't have the energy for the actual spell. How crazy is that? And you made an interesting point that What did you say? That was the spell.
That
Who's
was
to
the
say
spell.
you have to light that candle?
There's nothing written in stone anywhere that says you have to be lighting that candle. I think
Right.
all the energy and intent is already there. And maybe lighting it is a way of putting it out there, kind of like putting it in the stream or putting it in the ground. But that wasn't the intent you put to it. That could have been the end of it there. You did not have to light it.
And I still have not lit that candle. Partially because I feel like if I light it, I'm going to burn my fucking house down. Because I took a cinnamon stick and jammed it into the damn candle. Then I thought about it afterwards. I was like, so as that candle starts to burn and that cinnamon stick is exposed, I'm probably going to set something on fire. And that's what I was telling you. And you was like, well, who's to say that you have to light it? And it made sense. Sometimes just the preparatory work of getting ready to do a spell is the actual spell. Sometimes just getting that energy up, that energy flowing. Because a lot of times before I do a spell, I like to dance. I'll turn on my music. Sometimes I'll let the music play out loud, or sometimes I'll just put my Bluetooth headphones in, and I just dance around in my altar space because that raises the energy.
Yeah, I like doing that.
Yeah. And all of that dancing around and you're raising the energy, and in your consciousness, you know the purpose behind what you're doing. So guess what you're doing at that point? That's your spell.
Yeah, the spell started the moment you decided what you wanted the spell to be. Yeah, like, it started. You're a witch. It started then.
You don't have to use any of the tools that's on your altar if you are indeed a true witch. Like, your son has even said it. Sometimes Junior won't even tell me and Tequila things because he knows that just us thinking of something is 9 times out of 10 is going to happen. He's just like, no, I'm not going to tell y'all. No. Like, Junior, we're not going to do anything. I know that you won't do anything on purpose. So your mind is the most powerful tool that you have as a witch.
Yes, it is.
And sometimes they say, oh, well, when you speak words, that's the most powerful tool. Not necessarily true, because a lot of times when I do spells, I'm not saying my prayers out loud or my incantations out loud. I'm saying it in my head. And everything works out just fine. Your mind is the most powerful tool that you have.
Well, guess where those words come from? They come from your mind before it even gets to your lips. So, again, you can cut out the middleman and just use your mind. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So stop feeling like, oh, well, I can't do this spell because I don't have this ingredient or that ingredient, or I don't have this tool or that tool. You have everything that you need in your mind.
So many people underestimate what they're capable of. I watch videos of people, because I watch more of the newer people, or at least the newer onto YouTube. Not to say that they're new into the craft, but newer to YouTube videos. You know, they bring a new spin on things, and I enjoy it a lot more. And I could tell that they're kind of underestimating themselves, or maybe second guessing it, or not as confident as they should be. And I just look at them, I'm like, you have no idea what you have inside you. Yeah. You have no idea. You need to tap into that.
And you know, I'm good for not practicing, like physically practicing. And I'll get on the phone and bitch and moan and complain to you about the things that are going on. And 2 days later, something will pop off and I'll call you and give an update. And you'll be like, well, damn, you was that mad that you caused this to happen? Because my sister at one point pissed me off so bad. And I did not want to do anything against her, like, you know, actually sit down and do anything. But it just took me being pissed off and me just putting that energy out there and my tears. And I'd be damned if her car didn't get wrecked and she didn't damn near get evicted from her apartment.
And her phone.
Yeah, and she shattered her phone. So it doesn't always have to be big things that you cause somebody, you know. Because I'm sorry, I understand that a lot of you may be Wiccans and, you know, you follow that whole don't do harm to other people. And yeah, I get it. I'm not knocking it. It's just not for me. You piss me off, you do something to me, I'm coming for that ass.
Yeah. But
it doesn't necessarily have to be where, oh, it's just something drastic and I want all the hair to fall out. You can cause a series of a bunch of little tiny things to happen and completely drive this person insane.
You know, and the thing is that when these things happen to this person, a lot of times they'll think, man, I must be doing something in life that karma's coming to get me. And at that point, you were her karma. That's why I say, when people say, let karma do it. Now, sometimes I am karma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and they'll think about how, because she was horrible. She's your sister, so I'm not gonna badmouth her. But
no, fuck that bitch.
no, I'm not gonna do it because she's your sister. But she was horrible to you. Horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, she was.
Never saw anything like that in my life.
She got a lot of,
So I never saw anything like that in my life.
And she got a lot of her up and coming. You know, a lot of little small things happened, but they led up to just a big ass breakdown from her. And I stood back and I laughed.
Yeah, and I told you, I said the day that you walk out of her apartment, you kick those feet off, you leave all that behind, and all you got is a smile.
And I have not turned back. I did exactly. I turned around, I kicked it off, and I have not spoken to her since then. So, I say all of that to say that you don't need everything, because I watch a lot of videos, and it makes me mad as the person watching the video when they say, this is what you're going to need for this spell. Don't tell me what the hell I need. Just say this is what don't tell somebody this is what they need.
I understand when people feel that they need, I'm just gonna, just a basic one. They feel they need a green candle to do a money spell. Whenever they feel like they need that kind of concentration, like if that green makes them concentrate more on money, if the candle helps them be more concentrated on the spell itself, then I can understand that. But you don't have to have any of that. You don't have to have the color candle that matches whatever you feel that color belongs to, like love, pink and red, or green for money. You don't have to have those colors, but if you need it and it helps you concentrate more, then that's fine. But I don't know.
But don't let the fact that you don't have it discourage you from doing that spell. Because if you don't have it, you need a green candle for a money spell because you ain't got no money, right? So now you're like, oh, well, I got to go out and buy a green candle. How is that productive to your situation?
And I think me and you are on opposite ends when it comes to the multi-purpose color. I know that sounds so technical when we're talking about magic, but you can kind of get what I'm saying. For you, it's white, right?
My multi-purpose color is white, yes, because I use black. I don't think black is used in cursing and things like that. Like, I use black for anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because I use black for whenever I just need anything. Like, if I need I don't have to have a certain color if I have black. Because for me,
I got what I need.
Yeah, for me, black is all colors. So
yeah, and I don't really follow that whole just use a white candle, but you can.
Oh yeah, you can.
You can
visualize
that white candle being whatever color you want it to be.
The fact is that you can visualize the candle itself and never even light one or own one.
Exactly. Exactly. And it took me a while to get to that point, especially when I was coming into my own, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just out of a closet witch, and I'm going to set up an altar. Because like I said, I've been practicing magic for a long time, way before it was popular to have an altar. So, and I didn't have anything, but I would write down, I would use apples. I did a lot of apple spells. I wrote on pieces of paper, and I burnt them, and I threw the ashes over my left shoulder or my right shoulder, depending on what I was trying to do outside. I used salt. I buried things. So a lot of the things that we do this day we are modern day witches. The witches back in the day didn't have those things.
Yeah.
They didn't have multicolored candles. They had a beeswax candle. Or some type of candle made from the fat of some type of animal, but it was one color.
Yes, exactly.
They didn't have glitter, and they didn't have.
Which these things are great. We're not bashing these things. Lord knows that I've done enough haul videos for you to know I have a shitload of things.
Oh yeah, and I'm getting ready to buy a shitload of shit when I get a shitload of money.
But the thing is I've slowed down on the shopping because I wasn't using it, and I was giving most of the stuff that I was buying away. I can't say that I've gotten back to basics, but I'm much down. My supply is lower than it's ever been.
Oh wow, I couldn't even picture that though.
But I'm telling you, man, the veins in my arms. I was looking at New Age incense the other day, and they were posting like order.
You better not, because when you order from New Age, I gotta go in on your order with you.
I know. I'm trying
to. Did I tell you I found them on Amazon?
You said you were gonna send me the link, but you ain't done it yet.
Ah shit, my mind be all over the place.
I know, just like mine, because I forgot until right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on a note somewhere. You said you had 2 topics. I have a few more, but I don't know how long because I know we spent a lot of time on that lady.
Yeah, we're about 47 minutes in right now.
Shit.
We already went over both of them because I wanted to bring up about the not lighting the candle as well, and I wanted to talk about the properties of herbs. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I have 2 more topics that I kind of want to touch on off of my list, and then I'll save the rest for later.
Yeah, because I got another one that I'm going to save for next week that I want to talk to you about.
Okay. What are your thoughts on changing the outcome of a spell?
How do you mean? Like you started off wanting a love spell and then you decided you hated that person?
No, like say for instance you're doing you're doing a candle spell, right? And I don't know exactly how you do your candle spells because I use a lot of the novena style candles and I read the glass of my candles.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can get a lot of messages and figure out what the outcome is kind of going to be, right? What if you see what the outcome is going to be and you don't like that outcome? So you change it. You manipulate your candle flame so that it burns a certain type of way to send a certain type of vibration or a different type of energy out into the universe to change the course of the spell, to change the course of what would have happened had you let it continue burning the way that it was burning. Does that make sense?
I think I got what you're saying.
Like a lot of people in New Orleans voodoo, they do a lot of candle spells. And I wish I had an excerpt to read you, but I don't have it with me. Well, basically, you're doing a spell or whatever, and the candle wax is flowing in a certain direction, right?
Okay.
So you know that it flowing in this direction means that this is going to happen.
Okay.
So what you do is you place something there in the direction that the wax is flowing to change the direction.
Because you don't like where it's going. Kind of like whenever my stepdad screwed us over and I was getting him back and the end result that I saw was going to happen, I didn't want that to happen to him because I was no longer that pissed at him, and then I had to switch the way that river flowed.
Right, exactly. So it's like, oh, well, it's going this way. The wax is going this way, so that means that this is going to be the outcome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place something here where the wax is flowing. So now it's blocked from going that way. It has no choice but to go in the opposite direction, therefore changing the course of the spell.
Oh, yeah. Your question was, do I think that that's what?
Do you subscribe to that belief that you can change the outcome of a spell?
I do think you can. I do think that there are certain rituals that I've combined it with spell work before that I may have not liked what had happened, which we've discussed about the neighbor to the lady that I used to practice with many years ago. And I didn't like that outcome, but it was already splattered and I couldn't stop it. And the fact that I was doing magic with 2 other people that liked where it was going, it was just one of those things like, well, it's gone. It's going, and, well, you know what happened there.
Yeah.
But as far as mine, if I want to change what's going on, I can. And I have, especially with, like I said, my stepdad.
But do you believe that it's a good idea to change the outcome?
Yeah, I think so. Because if what would have happened to him had happened, I would have felt like shit. That would have been a big thing in my world for me. So yeah, it would have changed me as a person. So yeah, I think it is a good idea if you change it at times.
I'm kind of on the fence about it. A part of me feels like, yes, do it if you don't like the outcome of, what's going to happen. But another part of me feels like changing it will kind of rewrite the course of a lot of different things as well. Because a lot of different elements go into, spell casting and spell working. And you literally are changing the environment of not just you, but the people around you and other people as well. So I think you can do it, but you just have to be careful with it.
Maybe it just depends on what you're doing too, because I was out for blood.
I remember. Yeah, that was a dark time.
That was a dark time. You thought winter was the dark times.
You're better than me though, because I wouldn't have stopped. But you know me. Once I'm going for the jugular, I'm going for the jugular. It's hard to get me to talk me down once I'm there. That's why I call you a lot. When I feel like I'm going in that direction, just be like, Tequila, I need you to talk to me. Because if I get there, I ain't trying to hear nothing from nobody. Because I'm gonna do it.
Oh, and we popped that off each other, just like the comment the other day. I'm like, hey, can you check this out?
Yeah.
Which, you know.
And then sometimes I feel like I'm not the best person to ask that because I stay on 10 and I be ready. Like, ooh, yes. I scared the shit out of Nina just now. I clapped my hand and she almost hit the ceiling.
Oh, baby.
she was grooming herself and why is she looking at me like, you bitch, you?
Oh, poor puppy.
Whatever. She's scared the shit out of me all the time. Okay, and lastly, I wanted to, because I'm in the process of making a book of shadows. What are your views on a book of shadows to the effect of a lot of witches have a book of shadows where they write, if they do a spell, they write that spell down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole purpose of a book of spells or a book of shadows or whatever is to go back and reference this if you need to do this thing, if you need to do that spell again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of on the fence, and I feel like the reason that I've never quite finished or continue with a book of shadows is because I don't know how I feel about the idea of doing the same spell the same way every time.
Well, you know that I don't do it the same way. It'll be very similar, but I don't do things the same over and over again. But I do like having my book of shadows, and whenever I come up with new spells, which is pretty regularly, and it works out the way I want it, I will go and write that in that book because basically my book of shadows is something I'm going to be handing down. There's spells in there from my grandmother and great-grandmother in there. Possibly my great-grandmother. Oh, good Lord, I got lost in my greats. You know, possibly several generations back because those were handed down. And I'll take them and I'll tweak them for myself, you know, and when I have spells and they've come out with really good outcomes, I will put those in the book of shadows, but I rarely will go back in there to
redo it that same exact way. Like I can't subscribe to the idea of carbon copy spells. And I think that's one of my holdbacks when it comes down to making a book of shadows, because I don't want to feel obligated. Because first of all, in my practice and in my faith, my family's faith, no such thing really as a book of shadows. We have like a black book or something like that.
Well, mine's a binder with plastic sheet inserts.
Yeah, I just can't subscribe to the idea of going back and doing it the same exact way the next time. And I don't want to feel obligated to have to do that.
I don't think you'll feel obligated, but I think that you would enjoy if you, 50 years down the road, you had something to look back on and you could kind of see your history, because we don't remember all the magic that we do.
We don't.
You know, there's no way of remembering that. So if you have spells or rituals, and I have mine sectioned out too. I have rituals, I have spells, and I have oils, I have incense. All those things are in sections in my binder. And, you know, just, it's nice to go back and look and see what I did and just kind of reminisce, you know, like a photo album.
Right. But my question is, how do you all do it? Like, okay, me personally, when I'm sitting down and doing a spell, because I don't get my spells out of books, I'm winging it. How do you remember?
Well, usually,
as far as when you're writing it down, how do you remember what you did? Or do you write it out before you start? Or do you write it during? Like, what do you...
Yeah, I usually have something there during, and if I can think of it while I'm doing it and not interrupt myself, I'll chicken scratch some stuff down. But usually I remember exactly what I did after I'm done. I'll go write it down directly after, or by the next day I'll make sure I scratch it down. Even if it's on a napkin and I'm at work the next day, I'm like, shit, I need to write this down. I did this yesterday. I don't want to forget. And I'll shove it in my purse, and eventually it'll end up in my book of shadows.
Shove it.
Yeah, because if I wait too many days and I haven't written anything down, I'm not going to remember every detail of what I did.
Yeah, because I feel like if I'm in the middle of a spell and I'm trying to write things down, write the spell down as I'm, you know, going off the cuff, I'm not so, you know, my purest intent energy is not in it because I'm multitasking, and I like to like really get, you know, I get involved in it, and I almost go into trance during every spell that I do.
Yes, you forget what is around you. My walls fall, like you see it. The walls are gone. Like you're gone. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and I mean to the point where when I come back, a lot of times it takes me a minute to adjust to who I am and where I am.
But you can write down, when you're done, you can write down what you remember, because that might be all that you need to pass down. Yeah. That might be all that there is. I think it's a good idea to have that, if not to reflect back to have to pass down, just to, the memories of it, if it's not to be passed down to someone else.
Yeah, because I would love to know what 50-year-old me has to say about 28-year-old me. It's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, because 37-year-old me has a lot to say about 20-year-old me.
Oh, 28-year-old me cusses 18-year-old me the fuck out every time I get a chance.
Seriously. Like, you did not have to be so goddamn mean.
Like, what? Like, no, you should have slapped that bitch.
So we have opposite reactions.
Yeah, because I stand in the shower and win arguments from 20 years ago.
Oh, girl. Do you remember who you had someone visiting you the other night, bugging the shit out of you, and I said, do not send that person here. Let me tell you something. That was too close to the bed for him to be standing. I'm used to being in the corner and being a creeper, but when you're right on the bed and I'm looking up thinking, oh, that's my husband's shadow standing over me. No, that's not his shadow. Who the hell are you?
Well, I told you, because he messed my damn kneecap up. And he was just on shenanigans all night. So I told him, listen, Tequila needs you.
Yeah, he messed up. He messed up more than a kneecap for me that night. God damn it.
They don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Okay, so yeah, what we're talking? Oh, Book of Shadows.
Long story short, you guys, I have a trickster spirit that hangs out around my house, and he decided to change the temperature of my water the other night when I stepped into the shower. And long story short, my hair got wet and I fucked up my kneecap.
Yep.
Good times. He is so irritating though, but. Yeah, I really want to make myself like because I just have a bunch of notebooks. Like, I just scribble ideas in. And 9 out of 10, like, I have so many notebooks that I've been scribbling in for at least the last 4 years. And I'll scribble and never go look at it again until I'm cleaning something out and I'm looking at these notes and it's like, what the hell?
See?
And I'll have like a list of ingredients and I'm like, what was I doing?
See, I find those too, but I won't add them into my Book of Shadows till it's something I've used. I got 3 different headache oils for inhaling that I need to put some of my friends with migraines to work with that and have them test it out for me.
Okay, could you please put that in my box? Because I keep a migraine at work with them dumb heifers.
Yes, because Nicole has migraines, and one of them that I made up, she loved. It worked great, and I have another one I need to be tried, so I'll put that in your box with your wax penis for Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm going to get a wax dick, you guys. Coming in the mail.
Yep.
So, I think that's it for the topics that I want to cover tonight, because we'll be on here all night if I keep going.
Yeah, and I have a topic that, and I'm actually, because where I'm sitting, I'm actually writing it here, because it seems like I get in here and I get set up for this, and then I don't have my little book with me. So, I thought of a few things while we were talking, so yeah.
Does anybody else dog take her paw or her paw and like kind of rub it across their face randomly? Does your dog do that?
Paige does.
Like she's wiping her face?
Yeah, Paige does. The puppy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like she's impromptu trying to be cute because she wants something. I'm not buying it. Excuse me, ma'am. Move.
Well, try to have a big old dog do it and then do it to your face. That hurts. Pop! No, that's not cute. Rub your own face.
Yeah, it's like she'll see me with something that she wants and she'll just randomly start doing all these cute little tricks that I've never seen her do before.
Nina runs you.
I keep telling her this is my house.
Yeah. Nina is her Pomeranian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she runs her.
Nina is my spawn of Satan. Yeah.
She runs you. Yeah. So
I
think we will end the video now. It was an hour long. We were trying to keep these a half hour, and if we didn't have that rant in the beginning, then it would have probably been a half hour.
So it'll probably be I don't know, but you know what? Nobody complained last week about that long video.
Because I think they're listening to them like on the way to work and with their headphones and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we should just leave it that way and not break it up.
Okay.
Because I've noticed that when I break up videos, I'll get more views. People will view the first video but won't view the second video. Okay. So it's like, well, you don't get all of it. So I don't want you guys to miss anything.
All right, we'll leave it as one video. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for thank you so much for listening.
Well, technically they are watching.
Yeah, because I do put the pictures on there. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening, and I'm sorry that this is a late video. It is going to be posted on Sunday, but it's Sunday in Texas time. So
yeah,
we'll see. We will talk to y'all next week.
All right, bye, babies.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.